Hi, everyone. My name is Crystal Ray, and I'm your host for And Then More Love, a podcast that explores how to live a more loving and fulfilling life. So this week, I really want to talk about something that's really important to me, and I think it'll be important to you because it has the potential to change your life, and that is the purpose of your existence. So this is a really profound question that has been asked over the ages by philosophers and great thinkers from the beginning of time. Spiritual people, religious people, deep thinkers have always asked this question: what is the meaning of my life? What is my life purpose? And I think now in today's modern society, I think this is an even more important question because it's so easy to get lost in the mire of everyday busyness and this continual search for more and more accumulation and more fame and more fortune and more everything, more pleasure. And so when we get caught up in this hamster wheel of just accumulating more and more and more, and even if we succeed, even if we get all the things that we think will make us happy, the fame, the girl, the job, the money in the bank, the security, the perfect body, whatever it is that we are searching for, ultimately, it will leave us feeling less than fulfilled or empty. So the question again is, what is the purpose of my life? So if my purpose is not to be quote unquote successful, my purpose is not to have a perfect body, my purpose is not to have a perfect relationship, all of that, by the way, nothing wrong with all of that. That all can be included. But there's a deeper purpose to our lives, a more fulfilling and more meaningful purpose. And that's what I want to talk about today. So I'm going to start by asking you to entertain the idea that your purpose, your sole purpose, and the reason that you exist is for bliss. What? Yep, I said it. You exist for bliss. The bliss of a sunny day, and the bliss of a stormy night, and every other extreme. And this bliss can only be experienced by you. The unique, never to be replicated you, with all of your beauty and grace and shame and sorrow, all of it. Nothing left out of this. So again, your purpose, the reason that you exist, the reason that we all exist, is for the bliss of our own existence. So in other words, you exist to be you. And when I say to be you, I mean you with all of your shadow and all of your light. And to be the best you possible, the most radiant version of self possible in each moment. And so as we move along in our experience of ourselves and experience of life, we start out, radiant and open, hopeful, heart open, innocent. And what happens with life for many of us, especially when things don't go our way, when we're disappointed by life, when people betray us, when even our institutions seem to betray us, and life itself, our bodies betray us, is that we can start to shut down. And when that happens, when we close down our heart, our life force is dampened. And that invites dis-ease into the body. And we start to just have less radiance in our body, less radiance literally in our cells. And this invites dis-ease. But when we move from joy, the joyful experience of being ourselves, and that means the broken you, the perfect you, the successful you, the not successful you, period. And each moment choosing to see the bliss of your own experience, the bliss of being you. And if we want to see this, have control over this, a semblance of control over this, what that looks like is in each moment choosing to see the good. even in the darkness, even in the shadows, even in the sorrow and the despair and the loss. So if you live long enough, you will have your heart broken. I promise you. And and just because you're a good person or a spiritual person or a religious person, or because you do all the things right, doesn't mean that your life will turn out exactly as you thought it would. As a matter of fact, there's no guarantee of that at all. If you're lucky, one of my greatest teachers told this to me, and I never forgot it. If you're lucky, your heart will be broken 1,000 times every day, so that you can learn to love more profoundly. So when I say that the bliss that we're talking about, the reason that you exist for this bliss includes the broken heart, includes the dark nights of the soul, includes the radiant blossoming, includes the sunshine, includes everything. Nothing is left out of this bliss. Nothing, absolutely nothing is left out of this bliss, including dog snoring. I'm going to have to move my dog. Can I see her? Can I see the paper? Let me show. This is who's been snoring here. This is Miss Annabelle. Oh, I just woke her up. She is absolutely in bliss until I woke her up. Right? Are you in the bliss of being you? By the way, Miss Annabelle is like 16 years old. Aren't you? Sweet girl. All right, I'll let her go. All right. So the bliss of being you, with all of your shadows, with all of your light, everything that comes into your existence is part of your bliss. And I know that's hard to hear when we have great loss, horror, tragedy, despair, betrayal. And I know this to be true because I've lived long enough to experience all of this. I mean, life can be quite beautiful, quite blossoming, quite spectacular, but the opposite is also true. And right in the midst of the struggle, that's when we have to choose the next most radiant version of ourselves. Sometimes what I do is I just choose to be peaceful about not being peaceful. And another thing that I'd like to share with you is that we are here for bliss, and we choose to be here, and we actually choose all of our challenges, and many of our relationships are soul contracts of many lives. And we come in knowing that this life is going to be challenging, but that's part of our bliss. And we come in knowing that we have free will. Nothing is predestined. You are loved unconditionally by a loving creator, by an omnipresent loving creator. You're loved so deeply that you are given absolute freedom. Freedom for what? Freedom to choose whatever you want. No matter what you choose, you are loved. Now, your life will be very different if you choose to shut down, if you choose to see the darkness and the despair and the devastation as the ultimate reality rather than part of your bliss. Your life will be very different, but you are never unloved. And the other thing I want to talk about here is that we're not alone. Like, we are all united. We are all one. And we have angels and guides, both seen and unseen, that are forever by our side. In the minute that you supplicate some assistance from your angels, from your guides, from those who love you, you are surrounded, and you open the door for this opportunity for your guides, angels, and the omnipresent universe to assist you. So you don't have to do this alone. As a matter of fact, you're listening to this podcast and to my voice and to this message so that you will know that you're not alone. I had a near-death experience about 3 years ago, and one of the things I was shown is that I could leave the planet and I could move on to the next realm, or I was shown multiple destinies, and one of which was to come back and find you, to write a book, which I just finished, by the way, after 30 years, called Love Letters to Your Soul on Amazon, and to share this message of unconditional love with the world. I was literally told from this omnipresent, radiant being, you're going to go back, and the highest joy, or the most ecstatic joy for your soul is to go back and tell the world that love is all that matters. And what I mean by love is the pure light of undifferentiated consciousness. In other words, no matter what happens, shadow or light, love is the answer. Love is all that matters. Love is the path to liberation. Right in the midst of deep despair, you can say, no matter what, I still choose love. Now, this will change your life. So let me come back to the beginning. We started with this conversation by saying the reason that we exist, or the reason that we as a species exist, or as an individual exist, is for bliss. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to pay off some karmic debt. We're not here to learn some important lesson. All of that's included. But we are here for bliss because it brings our soul bliss as an individual and as a collective. And we are loved unconditionally by an omnipresent creator, a divine force, by whatever name you choose to call it, that's reaching out to you today via my voice and my presence to remind you how precious, how loved, unique, singular, and amazing you are. You are not alone. We are all in this together. You want a fulfilling life? Then I will recommend that you choose yourself. You're here to be you. And in each moment, choose to be the next most radiant version of yourself possible. So in other words, when you could choose to be unkind, don't. When you could say the unkind word, don't. When you have the opportunity to be generous, to be graceful, to be forgiving, to be full of benevolence, do that instead. And even if it's a little shift in the compass, it will take you to an entirely different land. You are far more powerful than you know. And love is the most powerful force in the universe. In fact, it is the only force. So when you connect with this high vibrational frequency, it's a joyful frequency, by the way. And when you're in joy, your cellular structure is alive and vibrant. It's a healing energy. You want to know how to stay young, how to stay vibrant, how to stay healthy? Stay joyful. Keep choosing love no matter what. That's my message to you today. I hope that it helps you. I hope that it serves you. I hope that you remember that to have a fulfilling life is not to do something outside of just being you. Right in the little world where you live, be the next most radiant version of yourself. And remember always, you are loved far more than you could possibly imagine. And all is well. There is a divinity at the core of your existence. And that's why you're hearing these words. I love you very much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, this heartfelt journey of opening the heart and learning how to love and live a more fulfilling life. I love sharing with you. I'm also a speaker. You can look at my calendar on my website at crystalraysoul.com. I also have my book out on Amazon, so look for that, Love Letters to Your Soul by Crystal Ray. Also, you can reach out to me, DM me at Crystal Ray, or send me an email. And if you have any questions or if I can help in any way, please just personally reach out to me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can drop me a note below, and I hope that all is well. And I'll see you on the next episode. I love you very much. Bye-bye.